Hello, it's Allison Sullivan with Stamp Crazy with Allison, and today I wanted to share a card made with an exclusive product that's coming in November. It will only be available from November 1st to the 30th, 2018, or while supplies last. And I hate those three little dreaded words, while supplies last. But if you like what you're seeing, make sure that you go to my store and order as soon as possible after November 1st, so you won't be disappointed. The Snowflake Showcase products are exclusive to November, as I mentioned, and there's a flyer that will be on my blog. But let me show you the products up close. The first one is Snow is Glistening. This is a stamp set. It has 14, I'm just checking here, 14 stamps. They are photopolymer, so you can see through them easily for placement. So here they are. And that's one set you can choose. There's a second set called Happiness Surrounds. It's more of an all the round year stamp set as opposed to the snowflakes, but I really love the fonts in the words, and there will be, I'll show you some framelits that match the other pieces, so really nice. So Happiness Surrounds, so that's the second product available. The third product is the Snowfall Thinlits Dies, and I hope you can see these. Okay, so we've got 20 dies. There's 20 dies in here. It's called Snowfall Thinlits, but some of these actually go with the Happiness Surround stamp sets. So you can see this one cuts out the flower. And we've got pieces here that are complementary to this stamp set. So we've got some leaves. And I really like the way you get two leaves. One goes one way, one goes the other. Sorry, bring that back in, sorry. And then we've got another kind of funny leaf. And then we've got some flowers. So you can see here, if I show you this again, we've got tons of flowers that go with the Happiness Surround set. So it's not just snowflakes. Okay, so we've got the two stamp sets and the dies. And then we've also got, let's move that over, snowflake trinkets. These are really beautiful. So there are two designs here. Let me just find the other one. Oh, here we are. So those are the two designs. You get 20 pieces, so 10 of each design. Really pretty, and they're not too heavy, so you can put them on your card and still get them through the mail at regular price. And then the last item that's on the exclusive products in the Snowflake Showcase is white velvet paper, and I don't have that here yet. But it's very pretty, and I have seen it. It's a white velvet coated 12 by 12 sheet. You get two sheets. So let me show you a card that I made using the Snow is Glistening stamp set and the dies. Here's the card, and I've dry embossed the snowflake instead of cutting it out. I'm going to show you how to do that. And then I've just added some colors. So let me break this down into steps for you that you can follow. So the first thing I did was I grabbed my Big Shot embossing mat. Now, if you've got this product, don't throw away the instructions. I keep the instructions because when I don't use it as often as every day, so sometimes I forget. So I've actually kept my instructions here, which shows me the sandwiches that I need to make an embossed image versus a cut image. So the first thing you want to do is grab your die. So for this card I use this snowflake die, and the traditional way to use this is to just cut out a piece of paper, right? But we're not going to do that this time. Now, the embossing mats come with a very thin one, which is blue, and a thicker, stiffer one, which is gray. I find that with this particular die, I just want a very light impression. If I use this one, it's a bit too deeply cut, and I don't want that. So let me grab a piece of paper here. So I've got my Big Shot platform. I have a clear cutting pad. Then I'm going to take my die and I'm going to face it up. Okay. Then I've got my piece of paper. Now on my card, I just want to bring it back in. You can see that my snowflake is on the right-hand side here. But when you put it through, you're going to put it so that the die is on the left side of the card, because when you flip it, it's going to be on the right side. So we've got our platform, our cutting pad, our die, our piece of paper, our blue little embossing pad here, and then this white pad, which comes with the embossing pads, is on top. And then we're going to just put that through the Big Shot. And when you take it out of the embossing pad, you can see that it's embossed this image, but it has not cut through the paper, and that's what I was going for. Okay. So the next thing I want to do is add some color. So I've got Pool Party, and I've got a sponge dauber, and I'm just going to apply my color like so. And as I do, you can see that the snowflake is popping off the paper because now we can see it. And then I'm going to add a second color, Balmy Blue, which is a bit different than the Pool Party. And I'm just going to again blend those together. Okay, so can you see that that's just popped that out now? Okay. Three, two, one. The next thing I want to do is add some snowflakes from the Snow is Glistening stamp set. So I'm going to grab those, and I'm going to be stamping that in Pool Party just around my snowflake, just like that, just to add a bit of interest. And then I'm going to bring in a piece of Pool Party cardstock that I have cut 1 inch by 4, I think it's 4.5. And then I've used the banner triple punch to just banner cut the end. And all you do is stick your piece of paper in as far as it will go and then punch it. And you get this little tail. Okay, so let me just move that for a sec. So just grabbed a saying. This one says, sending a blizzard of wishes for a wonderful season. That's pretty. So I'm just going to put it on my block. Love the fact that they're photopolymer, so I can see where I'm stamping on my piece of paper. And I'm going to use the Bermuda Bay ink. And I've got my punched piece here. And I'm just going to stamp that like so. I love the script of these words too. They're really, really pretty. Okay, so next thing I want to do is add a little bit of dimension, and I'm doing that by adding the Silver and Pool Party Baker's Twine. I really like this. So here's a trick. On the back of this tag, I'm going to take my glue dots and I'm going to just add a few to the back like so. Let's grab here. So just give it some dots so that I can attach my Baker's Twine to. And I like a little piece hanging off. And then I just, you can see I'm just turning this to, I'm gonna go like that. There we go. And if I feel like I need more glue dots, then I can always add them. So when I'm happy with how that looks, I'm going to just trim that off. And there we go. Just add some dimension to that. And then I'm just going to check how I like that. And I like the way that looks, so I'm good with that. So let's start putting this card together. The first thing I've got is a piece of our silver foil here. Love this paper. And I just wanted a little bit showing around the edge of this card. I didn't want too much showing. I just wanted a little shimmer. So there we go. And then this is going to be mounted on a piece of Bermuda Bay, which matches the ink that I used earlier. So it ties that all together. I'm just going to stick that on like so. And the reason I put my cards together before I add my embellishments is it's just a little bit easier to apply my snail to a flatter surface. If I started adding my rhinestones and whatnot before I put my card together, then it kind of pushes back and makes it a little more difficult to put my glue on. So there we go. And tip with snail, turn it over and give it a rub. Snail is heat activated, so the heat from your fingers will actually make that glue stick really well. So that's a tip for that. Okay, and then I want to bring back in my words here, and I'm going to pop those up with Stampin' Dimensionals. So I'm going to use the regular size dimensionals. We also have mini ones that are really great for little projects. And I think that should be enough. Tip, if you press on the middle of this with your fingernail in the middle of your dimensional, they'll pop right off. Go here, and I'm lining up the edge to the edge of my card. So I don't want to cover up too much of that snowflake, but I just want a little bit peeking through. And then to finish this off, I'm going to put on some rhinestones. And the reason I'm doing that is because it kind of adds to the card, but also it ties it in with that nice piece of silver. If you haven't got one of our Picket tools yet, or pick tool, or I don't know the right name all of a sudden, but I'll have it on my video. We've got some rhinestones, and you want to create a triangle. Just kind of makes the card look good when you don't have them all bunched up. And I tend to use 3 or 5, so an odd number. Okay, so that's my card. Just fold that up. Okay, and I do use the thick white because I think it gives it a lot more sturdy base for all these elements that you're adding on. So I hope you've enjoyed that card today. And remember, your Snowflake Showcase products are available until November the 30th. They start November 1st, but only while supplies last. Thanks for joining me today, and happy stamping.